when we read this question, so Mario drove from Edmonton to Grand Prairie and back, a distance of about 360 kilometers each way. Mario's average speed was 30 kilometers greater on his return trip than his trip out. Was he speeding or was he just going extra slow? We'll find out. Okay? His total driving time was 10 hours. Determine his average speed both ways. So when you read a question like this, you're just like, ooh, that sounds like a lot of math. And it is a fair bit of math. But it's also a lot of math, and like, there's questions where you have to do a lot of math and it's like set up for you. And then there's questions like this where you have to do a lot of math and you have to do the setup. And that makes it a little bit hard. So for these distance, speed, time questions, we're going to set up a chart with distance, speed, and time. And with the things that you're doing. We're going from Edmonton to Grand Prairie and Grand Prairie to Edmonton. Fill in what you know. Well, the only thing they told us is that this is 360 and this is 360. We don't know the average speed, but that's where we introduce a variable. We know that it was 30 greater on the return trip than on the way there, so if I pick x for the way there, that'll tell me this will be x plus 30 for the way back. We also don't know the time that it took him to go there and the time that it took him to go back, but we can use our formula now, and time is distance over speed, so this will be 360 over x, and this will be 360 over x plus 30.
But does it change anything that we know that the total time is 10 hours?
It does change something that we know that the total time is 10 hours because that's what's going to help us write our equation. We know that this green circle plus this green circle has to equal 10. And that creates an equation. 360 over x plus 360 over x plus 30 has to equal 10. And I left some space there on purpose because how do we solve rational equations? We get our common denominator, so this one needs to be multiplied by x plus 30 and x plus 30. This one needs to be multiplied by x and x. And this one needs to be multiplied by x and x plus 30. Which, once we have that common denominator, we could multiply both sides by that common denominator. And all of those would go away. So what do we have left? I'm going to zoom so it's a little bit bigger here for you guys. I'm going to have 360x plus 360 times 30, that's a pretty big number.
That's 9800.
Close.
That has to go on this data.
And then here, I'm going to get x squared plus 30x times 10, which will be 10x squared plus 300x. What kind of equation is it? Quadratic. We solve quadratic equations by making one side equal to 0. I'm going to make this side equal to 0, giving me 10x squared. 720 moved to the other side, minus 420x. And then minus 10,800. I could divide everything by 10. Now, my guess is here most of you would go the quadratic formula, because you probably don't know what times to 1080. Just
36.
Just a check. Is 60 and 18 1080? someone check?
60 and what?
60 and 18. That's what I want to go with. What my brain says.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes,
That
okay.
works.
And that makes my outside and inside, would make it 42.
I hope so.
Okay, I will not give you numbers this big.
You should not visit
But
if you
this-
want it live.
But when you get to real life problems are often more complicated and bigger numbers.
And you can use ChatGPT.
And you can use whatever you like. So here we get x equals 60 and x equals minus 18. Now this is a real life problem, so you have to check their validity. You cannot be traveling minus 18 kilometers per hour on a trip somewhere. I guess technically you'd be going backwards.
You can.
So we write a sentence because it's a word problem. They ask you for the speeds there and the way back. This is the process. Now this one in particular, the factoring wasn't easy. You will get ones where the factoring is easier. But the idea will always be that you can set up the chart, and then there's going to be something in the equation that tells you how to make, something in the question that tells you how to make the equation. In this one, the total time was 10. So that means this green circle plus that green circle has to equal 10. Sometimes they'll tell you the times are the same. Then the green circle equals the green circle. So you will read the question, and then after you've made your chart, say where in the question does it tell me how to create my equation.
It doesn't.
Once you've created that equation, then solving it is just 7.5. So we still have to be really good at solving our rational equations, which the strategy we've developed is get a common denominator, multiply to get rid of that common denominator, and then you, sometimes it's a parabola, sometimes it's just a line, sometimes it goes back to a grade 9 question. So let's look at example 1 here. It's got speed, so we automatically think distance, speed, time question. Set up our chart. We have two situations here. A boat is traveling downstream and upstream. Fill in what we know. How far does it go downstream?
12 kilometers.
12 kilometers. How much upstream?
8.
8. So we can fill in those. What do we want to find?
Is
The speed of the current. Okay? So I'm going to call that, off to the side here, let C equal, and you could use X if you really like using X every single time. But I'm going to use the letter C for current. Don't know why my brain went there, but somehow I decided on C for current. How fast are we going then when we're traveling downstream?
15 kilometers per hour.
No, it says you're traveling 15 kilometers per hour in still water. Would you, if you're going downstream, does the current help you?
Yes.
Yes. Does it make sense that if you would normally be going 15, you would be going 15 plus your current?
No.
And upstream, you would be going 15 minus your current.
Mr. GR,
Yes.
what's current like the flow of water,
Current is the flow of water. Yes.
the speed of it?
The speed of the water flow.
If you're not very knowledgeable about rivers.
Then you're up a certain creek. Okay. Now, time is distance over speed, so I can write the time here is going to be 12 over 15 plus c, and the time here is going to be 8 over 15 minus c. So we choose only one variable. Usually it's the variable you want to find. We wanted to find the speed of the current, so I let c equal the speed of the current and try to fill in my chart with that information. And I had to use my formula to fill in the time. There has to be a way now, we read the question, to create an equation. You see this sentence right here? The boat travels 12 kilometers downstream in the same time. So what do we know about this and this? If it's in the same time, those would have to be equal. So what do we do to solve? We get our common denominator. This one's missing a 15 minus c. This one's missing a 15 plus c. Multiply to get rid of our denominators, and what are we left with? 12 times 15 is 180 minus 12c equals 120 plus 8c. Move this over, I get 60. Move that over, I get 20c. Do we have units? Kilometers per hour. So the current is traveling at 3 kilometers per hour. These are your distance, speed, time questions. For practice, and I'm going to give you some time right now to try them. 8, 11, 12, and 13.